Ladies and gentlemen, JP Alexander for the Rabid Dogs Unleashed. Monday, January 11th, 2021. Today I'm going to be talking about something that I knew nothing about until today, so maybe I'm not the right person to talk about, but I have an opinion on it. Like everybody's got an opinion, like an asshole, right? Hilaria Baldwin, Alec Baldwin's wife. I didn't even know. I knew he had a new wife. Knew it's been 8 years, but I didn't know when he married her. Supposedly he had 5 kids. She was pregnant 7 times already in 8 years. That's like, I'm more shocked about, not the story I want to say. I'm actually more shocked about Alec Baldwin at his age. He met her at 54, which is he married her a year younger than I am right now, and he got her pregnant 7 times. Jeez, Alec, man, jeez, you are a stud. You are a stud. I mean, she was young. She was 18 when he met her. No, she was 20. Whatever she was, 28 when she met him. He was 54. And yeah, I got pregnant 7 times. Wow. And they had 5 of them, 2 miscarriages. I'm not going to make light of that. That's unfortunate. I'm sorry that happened. That's terrible. But this is more about, I guess, her background, She, I didn't know this, but I guess she's Spanish or so she said. It sounds exotic. I know Matthew McConaughey's wife is Brazilian. Alec Baldwin's wife is from Spain, and I heard it said on a Wikipedia site she's from Mallorca, Spain, which is an island of Spain. That's Spain. It's an island of Spain, so she's from Mallorca, Spain, but she was raised in Boston, Massachusetts. Seems odd that Spanish people don't go to Boston. I guess, I don't know, but I guess she was raised there, and she said she went back and forth. And then I also heard other, instances where he said that she was born in Boston but raised in Spain, and she, I guess, has said she lived in Boston and Spain, and I don't know, back and forth, both of them. But the Wikipedia said she lived in Mallorca. She was born in Mallorca in 1984. Okay, so anyway, fast forward till now, recently, things have come out that she doesn't have the accent she had back when she first met Alec. And I guess she could say, hey, I've been living in the States a long while now, so I guess I've lost my accent. Okay, could happen. But now people are saying, she's... what gets me is that you could find this stuff out. There's records of this, so I guess nobody did. They just wrote on Wikipedia, she's from Spain, because she said she's from Spain. Or somebody said she's from Spain. And it's coming out now, she's not from Spain. She's actually from Boston, Massachusetts, born and raised, went to high school there. Her parents are actually from Boston, Massachusetts. Her father was a lawyer, went to Georgetown. Her mother was a doctor who went to Harvard. She went to a private school in the Boston area. This is pretty well-privileged people. And yeah, none of them are Spanish at all. And if you see pictures of her parents, they look pretty Aryan to me, pretty white to me. Not Spanish at all. If you're going to pinpoint Spanish, if Spanish have blonde hair and blue eyes, I guess. Is there any place, I know Italy, in the north of Italy, you can have blonde hair and blue eyes, but Spain, I don't know about any part of Spain. Maybe the north of Spain, but anyway, no, I don't. My parents are not Spanish at all, and it's come to find out that they're Irish, English, French, Canadian, German, and Slovak. Which one of those is the closest to Spanish? None, really. So yeah, and she had a Spanish accent in some interviews years ago, and now she said she goes back and forth, and her name is, they found out she was born Hillary Haywood Thomas, not Hilaria, which I guess she says they call me Hilaria in Spain when I go to Spain, when I go to visit Spain. It seems she's been on vacations in Spain, like a lot as a kid. And her father was obsessed with Spain. And her grandfather, I think on her father's side, went to Spain a lot and went to Argentina a lot. And he got the son into Spanish culture. And the son learned, he got a degree in undergraduate in Spanish studies. So he probably knew Spanish, and he brought his kids to Spain a lot, and he taught them Spanish when they were younger. So she speaks fluent Spanish. She spent a lot of her childhood in Spain, okay. But she's not from Spain. I don't think she even has a Spanish passport. Probably not any part Spanish. Because they looked at her heritage, no part, like I said, no part Spanish. She went to Spain. I don't think she went to school in Spain. Because she said she came to New York when she was 19, which is in 2003, to go to NYU. So, and she had come from Mallorca, Spain. She said that, but you could easily explain that away by saying she probably spent that summer in Mallorca, Spain, and she came over from Mallorca to New York to go to college at NYU. But she omitted saying that, well, I lived in Boston until June, and then I spent the summer in Mallorca, Spain, and then I came here to go to New York, So when she said, I came here when I was 19, what she meant was I came here to New York, not I came to here, meaning the United States. So anyway, recently she was caught. She was caught in the lie, and some people said, whatever. They're bringing up how she lied and at least made people believe she was from Spain when she wasn't. Even though she did interviews, and she did interviews with like Ola magazine, and she gotten several awards for like Spanish Mother of the Year or some, meaningless awards. Who really cares anyway? But well, who cares? Another Spanish woman who was the runner-up to be the Mother of the Year, who lost out to her, who should have got it because she is really Spanish, to somebody who is not really Spanish. Anyway, not that Ellen Page is calling herself Elliot Page, and we have to call her a man, so why can't Hilaria just say I'm Spanish? That's it. I'm Asian. Fuck you. I could call myself anything I fucking want. I'm Quan. I want to be fucking. That's it. If you don't call me Asian, you don't give me a chance to go to school and become you don't give me scholarship to MIT. Fuck you, right? Spanish. I'm Asian. So she could be Spanish, right? We can be anything we want, right? I don't know. They're starting to say cultural appropriation. She did the wrong thing. Anyway, she was caught. And instead of coming online and saying, shit, I'm sorry, I'm going to come clean. I spent a lot of time in Spain. When I met Alec, he was obsessed with my look. He said I look Spanish. Here's the thing for Salma Hayek. I reminded him of her a little bit. And, well, if you ask me, she reminds me more of Penelope Cruz, the way she tries to dress and look and everything like that, her look. So she could have said that, and she could say, and then he thought I was, and I could put on a Spanish accent because I spent a lot of time in Spain. I lived in Spain. I love the Spanish people. I actually think I was reincarnated from a Spanish person because you can even pull all that bullshit out of the air. I'm shocked I'm not Spanish blood because I really, associate with these people so much, and I love the country. And I speak it fluently, and it just came so easy to me, and blah, 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 blah. And, Alec loves, me being, and so I played up a little bit. And through the years, unfortunately, people interviewed me and they assumed I was Spanish, and I didn't really let them believe otherwise. I went a little too far with it. I'm sorry. Me and Alec are both sorry. We role play a lot of times in bed where I'm the Spanish maid, and I'm like, oh, no, I don't. I didn't clean underneath the coffee machine, the coffee grinds. Senor, disculpe. Sorry, I didn't clean the coffee grinds and the coffee machine. You've been a bad maid. I'm gonna have to uh, make some corrections around here. I'm gonna have to discipline you. This is going to hurt me more than it does you. And that whole thing. I think she could have said that, maybe not using as many words as I did, and say, hey, we got a little too far with our role playing and it came into real life, and I'm sorry. I'm going to give money to Spanish associations and Hispanic associations. I'm going to give back the awards. I'm going to actually personally give the awards to the runner-ups in these categories. I'm so ashamed I've done this. Please, I didn't mean to hurt anybody. I never meant to hurt anybody, but I realize my actions did hurt people, and I feel I'm so ashamed for that. That's really all she had to say. But no, she's trying to explain it away, trying to blame the people who interviewed her, which they weren't any help. They were kind of wanting her to be, Spanish. And I gotta say, the circle she hangs around in with Alec, they're probably going to all these New York parties. Alec's a big guy in New York City, so he's from, Long Island originally, like me, Long Island boy. But he stayed in that area, and he's probably got a house in the Hamptons, I think he does, and he's got probably a penthouse in New York City, and he's like this hip guy, and he's always going to, on Saturday Night Live, and he was on 30 Rock, and he's just a New York fixture now, and he's probably going to these liberal parties, and all these liberals are kissing his ass, and he's hanging out with these parties. So when he brings his new wife to these parties, what sounds better? Yeah, hey, I'm married to this girl way younger than me, 26 years younger than me. No, 28 years younger than me. No, 26 years younger than me. Yeah, 26 years younger than me. Still, he's old enough to be a father. Wow, yeah, you got a hot look. Yeah, she's a yoga instructor, and she's from Boston, Massachusetts. Is she going to park the car in the garage? They see her, they go, how's them apples? So, I mean, that kind of jokes, I'm sure it's going to be like that. Does that sound exciting? Not really. He probably doesn't want to hear that. So he says, she's from Spain, Mallorca, Spain. That sounds so exotic. Wow, she's beautiful. And she's got this accent that makes it sound really sexy. And Alec is just introducing her to, the New York bigwigs, the liberals in New York, which is like all of them, and they're all like, oh, they're so fascinated with Alec Baldwin's new, Spanish wife, as opposed to his part Irish wife from Boston. Go figure. Another Irish woman from Boston. Jeez, dude, we used to get girls like this at the fucking at the Patriots game, who were in the nosebleed section. We used to give them a few beers in them, and we bring them in the back. That exactly. You see what I'm saying? So when she was caught, she blamed the media for whatever, hyping up her, and like I said, they didn't help out matters, and then she said something which, again, she had her back against the wall. She didn't know what to say, so she said, yes, I'm a white girl. But I guess not really realizing that Spanish people are white, because Spanish is European. It's not Hispanic. Hispanic people, they're brown, I guess they could say. Even though a lot of Hispanic people are as white as me, at least they look it, but I guess they could claim, minority status or what have you. I don't know, but Hispanic. But Hispanic is a mix of the Spanish who occupied those areas and the indigenous people to those areas. That's what Hispanic is, a mix of that. It's not Spanish people. Spanish people are not Hispanic. Two different things. Spanish people are not black. They're white. So are Italians. So are Sicilians. Even though a lot of people want to make jokes about that, Sicilians are white too. If you would really let's be technical, they're considered white also. So Spanish people are considered white. So she said, yes, I'm a white girl. And Europe has a lot of them in there, meaning white people. You think? Wow, that's quite an observation. Hilaria Baldwin is making there. Europe has a lot of whites in there. Yeah, you're right. You're right. And actually, 86% of Europe is white. So that's I mean, 86% of Europeans are white. So yeah, you 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 did great detective work by stating that pretty obvious fact. Uh, this would be as if an African American guy, like let's say, I don't know, let's just bring up an African American guy, Denzel Washington, out of the blue, said he's from Africa somewhere. Him himself, I'm not talking about his ancestors. He himself was born in Africa somewhere, and then people did something and said, "Nah, you're from the state of the United States," and he goes, "Well, I'm a black boy, and Africa's got a lot of blacks in there." Wow, that's really going out on a limb there. The same way this is the same thing. It's pretty. I don't know why she would say something so ridiculous, unless she, of course, was just didn't know what to say and trying to say, "Yes, I'm Spanish because I'm white." I don't think. I hope that's not what she was saying. Anyway, she loves Spain. She wishes she was Spanish. Okay, she's not a bit of Spanish at all. Maybe if they did a blood test, they'd find out she was as much as Elizabeth Warren is Native American Indian. Anyway, I don't know what else to say. I don't really care much about it. I mean, she could say whatever she is, what she wants to be. I think it's being blown in proportion. I think her and Alec just got caught up in the lie so much that it just got a life of its own, and she'd know how to rectify it. But there's a better way to handle it now by just admitting your fault and saying you're sorry and saying we got carried away in what happened. We didn't mean to hurt anybody. That's it. This lying and blaming others for it is not going to help when there's. I don't know how these people do this when there's tape out there, there's film out there. There's you on camera saying, I mean, there's records here that you obviously lied. I don't know why people, it's like me. If I ever got into politics or something big and people started to interview me, I'm going to tell the truth. Or, like my lawyer used to say when I was in court, going through a divorce case, not a criminal case or anything. You can lie only if you know they can't prove you're lying. Which, okay, that's what everybody does. That's what she told me. You could only lie if you know they can't get you on it. Meaning you could say, I don't remember something. Because they can't prove you do remember it. They can't say, no, we know your brain and we know you do remember it. No, even though you obviously do remember it, you can still say, I don't remember. They can't, they can't prove, they can't say you're lying, is what it is, because they can't prove you're lying. So only lie on things you know they can't prove. So if I ever became famous one day or something and they asked me things, I try to remember that in my head because I know that there's probably a tape somewhere. Somebody's going to come up with a tape. I mean, this stuff will shock people. I'm sure if I did something, if I said something, there'll be somebody with a tape and say, I was at a party in 1983 and J.P. Alexander was there. And this is what he did. He just said in an interview with you, he didn't do this well. This is him at this party. And there'll be like a party going on, and be me in the background, and I'll be doing something asinine, like I have done at plenty a party. And I'll be like, I don't even remember that fucking thing being. I don't even remember that guy who has that tape. I don't remember that thing being filmed. I'm sure I'm on film somewhere. Somebody has it. And, they're probably saying, who the fuck is this guy in the background? If I become famous, they'll go, oh, that's who that guy in the background is. And then, something, he just said something that contradicts what he just did in that video. I'm gonna fucking present that video, and I'm gonna get my 15 minutes of fame by exposing him. If you know that, especially here, this is not hard to find out. You're on tape saying, I came here from Mallorca, Spain to, here to study at NYU when I was 19. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. And I just hope they come clean and come forward. And, even though I don't agree with Alec Baldwin's politics, I kind of like Alec Baldwin. He's a tough, Long Island guy. I kind of like him. I'd like to have a beer with him, but not get on his bad side, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so I got to say about that. Anyways, JP Alexander for the Rabid Dogs Unleashed. And until next time, again, okay, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say ciao, and you're going to be like, why does this asshole always say ciao? Everybody has something they say on a podcast that makes them different than everybody else. They have a saying. I'm just saying ciao because, I never said ciao my whole life. I said bye. Yeah, bye. See you later. Whatever. Until I moved to Europe. Again, I'm not any place of Europe that I moved to. I never actually lived in anything that my heritage is not any. I've been to the countries my heritage is, but I've never lived in any of them. But I lived in some places in Europe. But until I moved to Europe and I heard ciao, ciao, ciao everywhere. Then I went to, this was Western Europe. Then I went to Eastern Europe and I heard ciao, ciao, ciao. Then I went to Brazil and I heard ciao, ciao, ciao. And I just heard ciao a lot. Even from people who ciao wasn't in their language. Ciao is just a universal bye. So I just say ciao because when I say it here, people are like, what? And I just go, it's universal ciao. It's universal bye except every place except the United States. So I just go, okay, ciao. And I'm sure people think I'm an asshole, a pretentious asshole because of it. But I just got into saying it because I don't want to annoy Americans when I do it. But you say it anywhere in Europe or in South America, pretty much I think anywhere around the world except here. I don't know. I mean, I think they're going to know what the hell you mean and they're not going to mind it. So until next time, fuck you. Ciao.